Hello, and today I'll be introducing one of my latest creations. This being a Paradrop script. It has one primary function and a little side function, so I'm gonna go through both of those. Let's begin by placing a unit. So let's take the engineer here. So that's gonna be me. We're gonna make sure to save this as my test map. Yes, override scenario. Next thing you need to do is to download the script folder and unpack the script. So basically it would look like this. Get the RAR file as this. Gonna cut it, or rather gonna extract it to the mission, so test.altis. I'm gonna bring it in here, we're gonna extract it, and this is what you will end up with. Now I recommend you do this in, or put this in the scripts folder, and then Nicky_Paradrop folder, as it is named by default. Otherwise these functions will not be working properly. So next we're gonna go into Paradrop. And in here you will have the code for the Paradrop, and you will also have a description for what all the parameters are for. So what I'm going to do with this is to just make it so that when we spawn in, or rather load into the mission, we will be free falling, and we will be ending up parachuting to the ground as a start of the mission. So first things first. I'm going to place this in the init, so I'm going to need null equals. That's something you need in triggers and init lines. And then we're going to start with an open bracket, and then the unit. Let's read this. The unit to be deployed via this script. If in the init of the unit you can use this, since we're going to do that, we can do that. Else you need to use the name of the unit. So if you are going to call this script in another way, if you're making your own Addactions and so on, you probably don't need to watch this at all, but if you're doing it that way, then you need to enter a specific name. Or maybe if you're gonna paradrop some of the units in, that could work as well. Alright, so this comma, and then we're gonna do drop zone. Place a trigger and name it. Okay. Adjust the trigger size for how big of a drop zone I'd like it to be. Okay, so we're gonna place a trigger, and I want it to be this big. Well, let's place it on top of the terminal. That way we'll have a object for reference. And we're gonna name it. Let's do Nicky Paradrop as I have it on my template. What else did I need to do? Adjust the trigger size for how big the drop zone should be. No further input necessary. That's right. So it's gonna randomly parachute me inside this trigger area. So let's bring the name Nicky_Paradrop in there. And next, if steerable. Type true if you want a steerable parachute. If you want a non-steerable, type false. Let's go for a non-steerable for now. I'm gonna do the steerable one in the next example. Alright, so drop height. At what height above land? This is very important. If you're gonna drop someone above the sea, then you're gonna have to make adjustments based on the altitude to the seabed, because this counts from land, or rather based on land height. So to be dropped off at, default is 200 meters. If you want a default value, you can just type nil. I'm gonna change it to 500 meters. Deploy chute height. The height in meters that the parachute should start deploying. Default is 100 meters. I don't think you can do it. You might be able to cut the corner a little bit, as long as you have no objects underneath. I'm gonna do 150 just to be safe, and close bracket because there's no more parameters. And then we can just copy this bit, because that's where you put the script, right? So now we have actually created a code here to call the script. Oh, one thing I should notice, the deploy shoot height is the automatic deployment height, so the height that it automatically deploys the parachute. If you have a non-steerable, you can't deploy it manually. If you have a steerable, you can deploy it manually, but it will still automatically deploy at whatever height you put here. This is partially because I made a mission where you started off free falling and rather close to the ground. And something you need to think about is when you're loading in, your unit will actually start falling before the person might have loaded through the loading screen. So he might have the loading screen in front of him while his unit is already free falling. So it's a safety precaution basically. So now that I've copied that, we can put that in the init of my unit. So here you can see that. Let's go into play scenarios. Now I should start free falling above this trigger somewhere. If you remember, I put it on top of the terminal. I'm somewhat to the side of it, free falling. And I should be getting a parachute. There we go. Whoa, parachute went crazy apparently, but I'm on the ground safely. That's the important part. Alright, brilliant. So, that works well. That works just fine. All my stuff is still in my backpack, so I haven't dropped anything as we went through. There's actually no backpack for the parachute, that's why you can't manually deploy it. I would need to add an Addaction and stuff, which I cannot be bothered with. I'm sorry. Alright, so let's keep that as it is. Let's see if I think we came in around. Let's see, I think we spawned over there somewhere, and I think we landed. Where's the end? There we go. I think we landed right there or something. Okay, so next time we should be spawning somewhere else, most likely. Now I'm gonna show you the other function, which is its primary function, really. So if we go back into our folder, Neki Paradrop, we can go into Addaction. And this is a function that will allow you to add a reinsert by Paradrop function. You can add the Addaction to an object, so that when a person dies, for example, and he respawns back at a base, you can have that person walk up to a flagpole or any other item, be it a laptop, whatever, and he can scroll wheel and select reinsert by Paradrop, and he will be paradropped into action. So this is mostly the same as the other one, but we'll go through it nonetheless. So this is going to be placed in the init of an item. So let's do null equals, and then we're going to do open bracket and this object, so this. The object which the Addaction will attach to, and then the name of the Addaction, the name you want the Addaction to have. It will be in red and with a star at the start and the end of the name. Default is reinsert by Paradrop. So I'll just show you the default value, so I'll keep it as that. Visible marker text. This is the text that will be seen next to the marker. Default is Paradrop. I'm gonna call it DropZone. You can see that if we go up here somewhere, yes, visible marker text, you can see that it needs to have quotation marks around it. I didn't make that clear here. I should probably do so. Like this. There we go. Save. Brilliant. And this one should also be that way. Improving the description of my script on the live rather. Okay, so I want the marker. It's going to be a marker on top of where you will be reinserting. So I'm going to call that drop zone. And then the actual drop zone. Place a trigger and name it. We can use the same one actually. So we're going to use Nicky Paradrop again. Adjust trigger size for how big you want it to be, etc, etc. No further input necessary. That's good. If we want it to be steerable, this time I want it to be steerable, so we're just going to type true. The drop height, at what height above land you should be dropped off at. Let's go for default. 700 meters looks fine. Let's do nil. Or the deploy shoot height, so the automatic shoot deployment. So let's do 150 again. And allow moving trigger. Now this is a very nice feature that I decided to add to it. It's this option adds an add action for moving this trigger and marker for the drop zone. We're gonna start off with false, and I'll just show you how that looks, and then I'll give you a quick look at how it looks if we change that to true. So let's copy this bit here, so that we know we have the proper pathing and all that. So let's copy this into the object we want to be able to interact with. So now we need to place an object. My most commonly used one is a flag, so let's do that one. Let's put it there. We should be able to see that one just fine, but if not, we'll put a flag marker there. Okay, so now we will be spawning in parachuting somewhere in this trigger, so let's go with that. This is the same as the previous preview. Now you can see we're on the other side of the terminal, and we're going to land in nearly the same place though. Oh, parachute going crazy. Relax, parachute, relax. I think I know what's actually causing that, and I think that's a little attempted fix on my part that I didn't quite finish. I'm gonna have to look into that, but hopefully I should fix it. Alright, so we're pretty much on the same spot, but we spawn like over here this time. So let's run over to this flag over here. So let's say I've died and I need to reinsert. So if I want to reinsert, I think I've done something wrong, haven't I? I really feel like I've done something wrong here. Did I put the code in? Did I put the code in? I did not put the code in. I'm an idiot. There we go. Okay, let's remove this now so that we don't need to spawn in like that. Okay. We don't need to see me falling once again, so let's skip that part. Okay, we're on the ground. If we bring up the map, we can see a marker here, drop zone. It actually adjusts the color based on what faction you are, rather what side you're on. So we have the drop zone here. It marks that the drop zone is there. That's the center of the drop zone. So let's presume I've died, and I need to reinsert into battle. We don't want to use a mobile MHQ or something. It mobile MHQ. Hold on, MHQ. We don't want to use that. It might not be suitable even for the mission to bring around a MHQ or something. So now this flag has, as you can see, an action called Reinsert by Paradrop. Once I click this, I'm teleported to the drop zone. And as we said, I have a steerable parachute now, so I can actually open this early, and I can fly myself down to the ground if I so wish. Well, you can't stay flying though. But anyhow, that's how that works. Now I'm gonna show you the last little feature here that's gonna make this function absolutely wonderful. If you remember, I said that the last parameter, allow moving trigger, we put that as false. So if we do that as true, And we bring this code into the flag. Let's remove that, put that piece in. Now we can save. Let's remove all this clutter. There we go. Bum bum ba-dum bum. As you can see, DropZone is on the terminal still. Now we have a new Addaction here called Move DropZone Reinsert by Paradrop. So let's click that one. Now HQ says down here, select a new Paradrop zone. So let's put it in Gravia. Bam! Paradrop zone has been updated. So now, once you paradrop, you will actually land in Gravia rather than on the airfield. So let's give it a go. You can see the terminal is over there, and we are over here. So, yes, you can update where you want people to land. Or rather paradrop in for reinserting. So let's say there's a fight going on in the vicinity, so I can just parachute myself in. Ooh, a bit fast. There we go. And I'm on the ground, and I'm back in action pretty much. Now if I go back to the terminal, there, magic. Let's move the drop zone again. Let's put it on this island here. See, simple left click and it moves you over there, and let's paradrop. So that's how that works. It's very simple. You can also move this around using triggers so that you can't select exactly when you want to have the drop zones, but the drop zones will be based upon the editor's choice, basically. I'll give you a quick look on that as well. I don't know why I'm even landing. I think it's just because it's awesome parachuting. Alright, so now we're here. Now let's take a quick look at moving the trigger. Let's make a simple little trigger here, even. Close that. Let's make a little trigger here, which says... Oh, sorry. Activation up for once I'm present. So if I walk into this trigger, let's say that would you can have whatever condition you want to, of course, but let's for the sake of right now, let's just have it so that if I enter that trigger, it's gonna fire. So if we go back in here and we open up Neki_move trigger, we can use this one. It's 2 parameters, so it's very easy to actually use or implement. So let's just do null equals. It's a trigger, so you need null equals, or you can have anything equals. Doesn't really matter. But I recommend null equals. It's fairly common. So open bracket, the name of the drop zone. We want to move Neki Paradrop. And the new position. Now you can either do X, Y, Z positioning. This would be at the bottom left of the map. You can also use a marker by doing get marker. Hold on, let's do this. Marker pos, and then string, let's say my marker. Like that, and close bracket, and then we can copy this so that you know you're in the correct folder. So I'm copying this, so I'm ready to put this into my trigger. We need to create the marker my marker as well. So let's create my marker. Just put it in here, why not? Can use an empty marker. Let's place it on the church. Let's name it my marker. There, so there's my marker. And in the trigger, once we get in here, we want to move Neki Paradrop, which is this one on top of the terminal, and then you enter the position you want it to. So my marker, based on get marker pos, of course. So simple as that. Let's just save it. Play scenario. Loading screen, loading screen. All right, the drop zone is right there. Yeah. It's right there, still there, still there. And I think I had to go over here somewhere. Let's just keep running while the map is open. I think I should be hitting that position very soon. Ah, Paradrop zone has been updated. Oh snap, now it's over there. Oh my god, it's magic. Anything is possible in the world of scripting. So now we can reinsert over here in Telos. We can see the airport over there, well, sort of. So yes, that's my Paradrop script. Hopefully that can be useful. I haven't been able to use this too much yet, but I'm hoping to use it very often in the near future, both for interesting mission starts and also for reinserting people in a more interesting way and actually able to bring them in a fairly hostile place right away, rather than having to tag it, or rather bring an MHQ with me to very, very tricky positions or places and then have people teleport to it. So I hope you find this useful and I hope you enjoyed.